Indeed, as another representative of a border state, we feel the effect as well of the Biden border crisis. President Trump saw the importance, as did many law and order Americans, of having a secure border. The Biden administration has stopped construction of the security fence hours after inaugurated. This has given us now the Biden border crisis. Reeling back enforcement of immigration, that seems to be their priority. Risking health of Americans with virus super spreaders is a result. As my colleague mentioned, the catch and release program is in full force. Do we really expect people to be released in this country to come back to have a hearing within 2 years? Past pattern shows not. The Biden administration has just canceled an agreement with Mexico to keep the asylum seekers on that side of the border, which worked pretty well to keep the numbers down from those coming through Mexico from Central America. Now the incentivization of that is another big green light. Look at the numbers we're talking about here. Just in January, the numbers increased to 78,000 and change. February, 100,000 so-called encounters at the border for people that our personnel have to deal with or might be sneaking through without dealing with our personnel. To add final insult to this policy to Americans, to taxpayers, in the so-called COVID relief bill, checks can go to illegal immigrants that are coming here via this manner. I mean, whose side is this administration on? The hardworking Americans coming through a COVID crisis, high unemployment? Who are they working for? I don't think it's us. I don't think it's the American people. As a Californian, I also want to hearken back to two tragedies amongst many. In Northern California, just a few short years ago, we lost a beautiful young lady named Kate Steinle in San Francisco, killed by an illegal immigrant who shouldn't have been here, who should have been deported at least 5 times over. Jamil Shah from the Los Angeles area, whose father I've met. His dad lost his son to a killing by an illegal immigrant. Whose side is this administration on when they carry out this policy just to either show they're different from Trump or that it's a political gain for them in their twisted view? I yield back to my colleague. Thank you for the time.
I thank the gentleman. He rightfully points out the impact on Ms. Steinle and her family and American citizens in California being negatively impacted by illegal immigration. I talked before about Jared Vargas in San Antonio, the city I represent, who was murdered a couple of years ago. His twin brother just graduated from college. He's going on. His family's a beautiful family. They've got a strong faith and they're persevering. But their family was turned upside down by a brutal murder. He was beaten to death and burned. Beaten to death and burned by a guy who came here illegally, was caught, let go, caught, let go, caught again, let go, beat and burned to death Jared Vargas. These are real people. We could do hundreds of these. We could talk to the angel families who've lost loved ones. We could talk to the parents of law enforcement officers and others in Border Patrol who have lost loved ones along our border. We could do a whole hour. We could do a whole day just going through that impact. And as I pointed out before in the other slide, the impact on the immigrants who seek to come here. This is the story. All in the false name of compassion by this administration. I'll be happy to yield in just 1 minute to the gentleman from Virginia. But my friend from California was raising the important points of the impact of illegal immigration, and now we're seeing it in real time, particularly in Texas, but among all 4 states along the border, throughout this country, empowering cartels, endangering the lives of the immigrants who seek to come here, endangering American citizens for one reason and one reason only, and that is the crass political interests of the American Democratic Party and this administration. I yield 3 minutes to the gentleman for 4 minutes to the gentleman.